Okay. We're going a cappella, I guess. You can see that I got the 850 podcast, and I forget the guy's name, but I don't know, it seems contrived, like I said last night, like the Bernie's got to dodge bullets over there. I wanted to get a map of all the murders that have been committed within 1 mile of me over the last 3 years. And ask if, let's not go off just yet. But as evidence that it is contrived, should I go into the reason that I think it, or why they would do that? Why they would do that is because I pointed out that, Bernie, the Finch trial's over. Like, what are you doing? And speaking of that, I'm going to solve this one the same way. Okay? I'm going to figure out whether the 850 podcast is a fraud. And that's, like I was telling whoever, what I do for a living when you break it down is I ask questions and watch people's answer. How they answer. Like Carissa down at the Club 12, she reacted way off the chain, out past the third standard deviation. As far as she shouldn't have got so upset with me for not attending meetings where I get instantly banned from the place. You ought to see the screw ups that come through there, and you can ask Bob Hughes. There's a lot of crazy shit that alcoholics do. So me not attending the meetings enough it coincided. Y'all's new standard came about after I captured on video a member that looks like that he was put up by your employee, and I doubt that you didn't hear anything about it. That would be highly unlikely. And I know we're diverting away from the 850 podcast, but hey, 850 dude over there, you can bring this over because it's interstate. And I was watching Bernie. He went from Lynn Haven all the way out to the national level. Like it's funny. He avoids Panama City, but that's what that guy's there to fill in, is my hypothesis. And we can test that the same way. Check it out. Bernie, do you want to prove that it isn't let's see how much of your income comes from the unknown patriot? Okay, so if a lot of it does, a significant portion, then you're just the spokesman for that dude. And I think I got a clue on who that is. And we can test out, and it's the same test also. Bernie doesn't want to touch my stuff. He'll touch the latest goings on at the Garden Club. But, shit right there where they're forging the response on 100 million, more than 100 million, probably $500 million, just right there. And they didn't do just those. Look at the freaking the pension reports. There's thousands. But let's see. It's curious how Rob Turner got over there. See, these are all things that I can bring to the table over there that should have both of those guys interested as hell. Because I can hang. Remember I was talking about the island hopping, where I can just screw the camping in public, don't expend all your effort on that, or the stalking charge where they will not respond because it does. But yet you try to get a job with a stalking charge that there's an arrest warrant for you. I told him that I'll go turn myself in at the FBI headquarters. That's a deal. They don't want this thing that Well, let's not go off into Neverland. I do have scribblings here. Where did I leave that off? Oh, okay. They should be interested in this. Okay, I've got Burke Blue. Like, I will hang this around the neck of Burke Blue on Monday. And that should get... But neither guy will cover it, though. See, that's the proof. I can do shit that's way bigger than whatever you're doing. And, hey, 850 guy. You know Robbie Hughes? Let's see if Robbie will do an interview with me in the room. Or, I can do a Zoom meeting, bro. And check it out. As proof, look at the words per dollar per conviction. You know, what was the final thing that they had against Mr. Finch? It was all it was like a balloon, like with a bunch of words in it, and then pop, but it took up all the space and kept us off the subject of Burke Blue and the court system over there, and Jimmy Patronis. I got some big names that I can bring right in there, but here's my hypothesis, is that since you're funded, well, you got basically a single source, and you're taking up that role of taking up all the airspace over there. And I see that you've got some heavy hitters in there, like everybody's coming to kiss the ring. Like, why? I mean, that's all paid for. Like, it's a production. I mean, I'm not seeing that. Well, I haven't seen enough to make a judgment on that, but if the Bernie Thompson stuff, like if that's the level of analysis, I'm not seeing, like, bro, you're gonna trip out when you see the shit that I gotta deal with, and you know, dealing with us. Bernie got his back up because they descended on me at the same. They did the same thing on a trespass charge where I got extradited from my grandma's church over to Tallahassee for trespassing at my alma mater. That's worse. And then I did 53 days in jail. That's worse than having Tommy Ford's people outside your place getting videoed, and you know, Bernie's is happy, like, that's an asset. See, I'm proving. They gotta explain that. That's the underlying foundation of my system. It's an accounting. It's an accounting system. Information assets. Like, if you screw up and get videotaped pulling a robbery, that instantly turns into an asset to me, because I can make you have to explain that. I'm going off astray a little bit, but my stuff is, you talk about low production costs, bro. As long as I got 2 turntables and a microphone, I can get out here and shake them up. They're more worried about me over there, I think, at the government center in Bay County than they are of Bernie. Like, Bernie's not uncovering shit. I mean, he probably is, but intentionally smaller stuff like the governor. Check this out. I got the governor. I got Peter Collins. Peter Collins got I can show the money. And that's really how I'm going to bust you guys also. And let me see where your income's coming from, bro. And let's see if y'all will cover that stuff, because it's big enough to make it on the news. That's a good, easy way to do it. As you call Jimmy Patronis. I mean, Jimmy knows I'm out here. Let's have him testify under oath that he, at a federal trial, that he's never heard of me. Okay? Same with any of, that's a great question. I gotta put that on the notepad for the island hopping. I can just call Burke Blue and all them and say, hey, when did y'all hear that there was, I think I